Now, if you thought we spent the best of British feature tearing up the English countryside in an Aston Martin, McLaren and $1 million Rolls-Royce convertible, well, you'd probably be about right. But there were other vehicles involved, including this behind me, our unsung hero, until now, of the whole shoot. A bit about why we chose the Range Rover Sport behind us instead of getting a big van or a big ute. This one actually is the V8 diesel, so it should average about 8.9 litres per 100 kilometres. Of course it didn't with Damo, our cameraman behind the wheel, but the thing's fast as well. It does 100 k's in about 6.9 seconds, so it can just about keep the Aston Martin in distance. It's also really comfortable. We've done 2,000 kilometres in this and it's just soaked it all up. Then there's the huge boot. But overall, this really is still among the best in its class. It's almost 4 years old and it's still our pick of the SUV, so we can't get enough of this thing. The best thing about the Range Rover Sport is what we're about to do now. We have been filming all day long. It's been a long day, and I just climbed behind the wheel and instantly you just begin to relax. It sounds strange. I don't know how Land Rover manages to do it consistently with the Range Rover, but it's just got this sense of well-being you get. It's probably the comfort. Okay, it's the ride height, we're nice and high here. But I mean, there's nothing that lets the driving experience down. I mean, this is a big, heavy car, and the steering's nice and precise. It's a big wide thing, but we're in really narrow British roads here, and it's quite easy and pleasant to thread along. I think I mentioned earlier, this is the V8 diesel, so that means it comes powered with the 4.4 litre V8, we know well. In this particular guise, it produces around 250 kilowatts, but forget about the top line power, it's the torque. This thing churns out 740 Newton meters of it, and it just dominates the driving experience. It's effortless. And you know, we're driving earlier this week, you know, the $1 million Rolls-Royce Dawn, and getting out of that into this, you don't feel shortchanged, which is an incredible thing to say. Have to calm myself down a little bit. This is still an expensive car. This particular car I think is around $176,000, so not cheap, not a cheap option, but from where I'm sitting now, after a long day, it really does feel like it's worth it. What we don't like about it? Well, you can't see right now, but a lot of the times we actually stick on our mobile phone to the windscreen and use sat-nav on our phones, because this infotainment system is just past it. It is past it, please replace it. But that's it. This thing's so comfortable, you know, when you're on a long cruise, you fold these armrests down, you sit back, and you just soak up the kilometres. It's just such a nice place to spend time.